All right, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this week's remedial class slash homework. So I'm going to go through the paper that we wrote as our test. Then I'll give questions on each of the parts that are in the paper. Okay, so for instance, I solve question one, I give a question on question one, which is similar to question one, then we move on like that. Okay, so you are required to copy the questions that will be given in your books and then you answer against the questions. Okay, so I'll explain here. So question one, then I'll give a similar question on question and copy that question in your book and answer the question. Then we'll move on to question two. Okay, so we have question one here that says the diagram below shows the lines A, B, and CD that are parallel. So this is the line AB running there to there, and that is CD running there to there, and they're parallel. By parallel, we just mean that they will never meet. Okay, they will never ever meet. Now, one other way of knowing that lines are parallel is that they'll have arrows in the same direction like this one here. So they have the same arrows. Just know that those lines are parallel. So those that have the same arrows, they are parallel. Okay, so that is another way of identifying parallel lines. Okay, now in solving this question, whenever you have parallel lines, and there are lines cutting inside or outside of the parallel line, you should note that you should try to make a Z. Okay, a Z looks like this, or you can even make a reverse Z like that. Oh, my reverse Z doesn't look good. All right, you can make a reverse Z like that. Now, what you should know about a Z is that the corners of the Z are the same. Okay, so when you have a Z, the corners of the Z there are the same angle, and that corner here, they are the same angle. If this is 50, then this will also be 50. If this is 45, this will also be 45. If this is 70, this will be 75. That is how a good Z looks like. So here we have two lines. Which way can you make a Z? Okay, so we see that if we trace this one down like that, we're going to have a Z. And also if we trace this one from here to down there, let me write it properly. So from here to there, down there, to down there, we're going to have another Z. And what we should know is that this angle here, the corners of the Z, just as before, they are the same. Okay, same applies here. So this angle here, which is the inside of the red Z, is the same as that one there. So now here, what we should do now is solve the questions. After identifying our Z and so on and so forth, we can now solve the question. So find the angles marked W degrees. So W degrees is here. So this one, we have observed that it is the same as this one that is inside here. So meaning that this one is also 60 degrees here. So W degrees is equal to 60 degrees. That is this one. Then X degrees is this one that is here. Okay. Another thing that you should note is that when you have a straight line, the angle of a straight line is 180 degrees. So whenever you have a straight line, the angle of the straight line is 180 degrees. And here we notice that we have a straight line here, and we just have one missing link here. So let me just erase. All right, so our W degrees is equals to 60 degrees, which is what we're putting here, 60 degrees. Then here we're saying we have a straight line, and ideally for a straight line, the angle of a straight line is 180 degrees. So here we should have a sense of what number should we put here, so that when we add to 60 degrees and 70 degrees, it will give us 180 degrees, making a full angle there. So that is how you should question yourself on this one. So what number can you put on X so that when added to 60 degrees and 70 degrees, you get 180 degrees. So what you should say is, you know that when you say 60 degrees plus 70 degrees plus whatever number should be there, which is X degrees, when you add these, it should give you 180 degrees. You have formed your equation here, and what you can do is 60 plus 70, that is 130 degrees, plus X degrees, this is equals to 180 degrees. Then we can transpose the 130 because we want to remain with the X alone here. So meaning that X degrees will be equals to 180 degrees minus 130 degrees. So this X degrees becomes equal to 50 degrees. So that is the value of X here. So this is 50 degrees, and we can add 50, 70, and 60. It will give us 180 degrees as the angle of a line. So that is your X. So your W degrees was 60 degrees, and your X degrees is your X degrees is 50 degrees. Okay, now we need to find our Y. Okay, now there are two ways to finding the Y, so you can just note that. So there are two ways to finding the value of Y. So the first one involves knowing about the triangle. Okay, so let me just do that. So the first one involves about knowing the triangle. So that is when you have a triangle like that, which is what we have, when you add everything inside the triangle, it should give you 180 degrees. So, and the idea is that since this is a straight line and we've been given 2 points here, if we find this plus this that is here, it should give us 180. So the first way is where we consider that when we add the interior angles, it will give us the angle there, which will help us to find the Y degrees there. Okay, so we're saying when we add 60 degrees plus 70 degrees plus whatever angle that is there, this should give us 180 degrees. And basically adding this X, well, in fact, what we're supposed to do is consider that this is a Z. So there are many ways you can solve this one. So that is where you find your value here. So you find you say 60 degrees plus 70 degrees plus whatever value is here. We don't know, we'll just say B. This should give you 180 degrees. Okay, but what we could have also done to find B is just note that this here, when this is a Z here, and since you've already found your X here, which is 50 degrees, this angle is also 50 degrees. You could have also used that. So you say this is a Z. If this angle is 50 degrees, then this angle is also 50 degrees, and it will help you find this. And basically what you just do is you say, this is a straight line. If this is 50, what should we add to 50 to get 180? Okay, what should we add to 50 to get 180? Simply, this will be 130. Sorry. So this Y is just simply saying 50 degrees, which is this right here, plus Y degrees. This should be equals to 180 degrees. So which is here. Okay, like this. Okay. Then here you would have Y degrees is equals to 180 minus 50 degrees. meaning that y would be equals to y degrees would be equals to 130 degrees. 130 degrees. So simple. It was supposed to be done like that. That is the first way. Okay, so the first way is just finding this angle here and saying, since this is a straight line, what should we add there so that we get 180 degrees? Okay, so that is the property there. The way that you could have done it is for any parallel lines. So I'll just write down here. So if you have two parallel lines, so let me just draw two parallel lines like that and that. Apart from the Z rule, if you have a line cutting like that, apart from the Z rule, if you have a line cutting like that, the angles are facing each other. This angle and this other one. We'll say A and B. A and B. These angles that are facing each other add up to 180. So A plus B is equals to 180. So you can write that down. Whenever you have two lines that are parallel, then this statement is always true. Angles that are facing each other add up to 180. So in this case, we see that this line here, we see that this line here and this line are parallel, and that is the line that is cutting here. So this one and this one, they should add up to 180. Just say x degrees plus y degrees should be equals to 180. X is 50 degrees plus y degrees will be equals to 180. Then you just solve for y. So there are many ways you could have found the value of y. So I'm just opening your mind. So that is that. So we find our y degrees as 130, which is what we have here. All right, so that is the first question. Now the question that you're doing is this one. So you will solve that question there. So just copy it in your book and solve it. All right, so question 2 was quite straightforward as well. You're given m as 2 and n as 6. Calculate the value of this. So for this question, what you should know is that when something is written as 5m, this is the same thing as 5 times m. Okay, same applies to this. So this was 5 times m. You replace your m there. Your m is 2 according to the question. So you said 2 minus, so same applies here. This is 3 times n. N is 6. Then what you do is you multiply first. You're using BODMAS. Always use BODMAS when doing this. So brackets, orders is we're grouping like terms and they're like. Then division, there is no division here, so we do multiplication. So multiply this times this, which will give us 10. Then there's a minus there. Then this times this, which will give us 18. Then subtract this will give us negative 8. And that was the answer there. So same applies here. Now here you have to be very careful here. So the power here was only applying to the n. Okay. So if it is written like mn then to the power 2, then the power is applying to both of these letters. When it's written as m to the power 2n, meaning that the power is only applying to m there. So but in this case the power was only applying to n. So this is the same thing as m times n to the power 2. Then you put your m is 2, so you say 2 times n is 6, and 6 has to be to the power 2. And you always have to deal with the one that has a power. So we'll write the 2 here, 2 times, then what is 6 to the power 2? So you deal with the one that has a power. Or you could have just written this as 6 times 6, because 6 to the power 2 is just 6 times 6. So it would be 2, 6 times 6, which will give us 72. Okay, and you are done. So for this question, you are going to work out the following question. All right, so given m is equals to 3, 9 equals to that. Find 5m minus 3, negative 5mn. Okay, then here we have mn to the power 2 plus 4n. So we're going to work out these two problems. So you copy the question and work them out. All right, now question 4, question 3, this required the use of BODMAS. Okay, so BODMAS, brackets, orders, division, multiplication, addition, then subtraction. Okay, so orders is where we group like terms, like the x's alone and the y's alone. So first of all, you have to deal with the powers, okay, all those that have powers. So here you're supposed to say, what is 2 to the power 2? This is 2 times 2 plus 3, 5 to the power 3, that is 5 times 5 times 5, plus 2 to the power 4, that is 2 times 2 times 2. What is that? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, they have to be 4 2's, is equal to 2x. Then here you have to start with the brackets. So first of all, you deal with what is in the brackets. So we'll deal with what is in the brackets here first of all. And what is in the brackets, there is multiplication first. So we have to do with those things that are multiplying. So we have to rewrite this as 2 times 2. We can do multiplication here. 2 times 2, this will give us 4. We can just do that right away. Where there is multiplication, we do that. So 2 times 2, that is 4. Plus, you not add this and this because this is applying to this. So you say plus, then 3. Then you say 5 times 5 times 5, that is 125. Plus, then you multiply this. This will give you 6. Is it 6? 4, 2 times 2, that is 4. 4 times 2, 8. 8, that is 16. Okay, and this will give you 2x. So you still have brackets there. You have to deal with what is in the brackets. Then now you need to add everything there. So this will be equals to 4. You can't add this 4 to this. So you say 4 plus 3 times what is in the bracket. That will give you 141. So this will give you 141 equals to 2x. And basically we can now multiply. So this is multiplication. 3 times this. So this, put it here. So this will be 4 there plus 3 times this. So that is 423. So this will give us 423. 423 is equal to 2x. Then we can add now. So 4 plus 423, that will give us 427 equals to 2x. And now we want to remain with the x there, so we can divide by 2 by 2, and this will give us 2.5. So that is your value of x. That is how you're supposed to work out this one here. Same applies here. You're supposed to do BODMAS. So since these are different terms, they cannot add up. So what you just do is you multiply these 3 throughout. So you're going to have 3 times 2. That is basically 6x. Then 3 times 1, that will be positive 3, equal to 7. You don't need to add it to here because this one is multiplied. It is connected with this one. So multiplication more like connect things. So this is 17. Then you say negative 2 times x, that would be negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 1, that would be positive 2. Okay, so first of all, you have to deal with what is connected to the brackets and what is connected together. So the negative 2 will distribute. And from there, you do orders. This is where you group the terms. So you can take all the x's on one side. So you have 6x. When this comes this side, it becomes plus 2x. Then the 3 goes there. So already we have a 17 here, plus 2, then minus 3. Then this will add up to 8x. Then this will add up to, this is a negative 1 minus, it will be 16 here. Then here you can just say over 8, and you get your value of x as 2. And that is how you're supposed to work out question 3. Now let me just put some numbers. All right, so these are the questions that you're going to find the value of XO. So you have this right here, which is 4x negative 3 to the power 3 plus 5, 5 to the power 3 plus 2 to the power 4, then 5x plus 2. Then here you have 3 times that equals to that. You simplify this. So this is the question that you're going to do for question number 3. All right, so one more question, then we can call it a day. So this question is question number 5, or maybe I'll see if I'll have enough time, because that's to be about 30 minutes. So question 5, the figure below shows this figure here where these lines are parallel. So you see that the lines are parallel. And you remember that we said if they're parallel, they will usually put arrows there to show that they're parallel. Find the length of BE. So this one is a very simple question. What you can do is, this question you can approach it in 2 ways. Okay. So first of all, you see that there is this big triangle out here. Okay. So there is this big triangle out here, and you don't know the length of the big triangle. Okay, you don't know the length of the big triangle here, so you can say the length of the big triangle is x. Okay, so the length of the big triangle is x. Then at the same time you have a small triangle here, so this side of the triangle is x, then that other side is 15. So you can just say so this length, you don't know it is x. Then you have like a small triangle inside here, which is this one right here. Then we know that the length of this side of the small triangle is 5. So now in equating, you can just say x, which is this length here, x here is equivalent to this other length of the small side here. Okay, that is another method if you feel that the first one was too difficult for you. So this from here to here, that is 5. Okay, then this is on the small, this is on the big triangle. The x is from the big triangle. Okay, so the x is from the big triangle. Then now we also have from the big triangle 12. Okay, 12 centimeters will be equivalent to 4 centimeters. Okay, and here you cross multiply and you get your 4x equal to 5 times 12, give you 60. So this times that will be 60. Then you say over 4. This will give you x as 15 degrees, or 15 centimeters, sorry, 15 centimeters. So you have your entire length here, which is 15 centimeters. Now for you to find BE, which is just this to here, you can simply say from 15, when we subtract this length, what are we going to remain with? Okay, so from 15, if we subtract this length here, what are we going to remain with? So from 15, which is the entire length, minus 5, this will be 10. So BE would be 10. That is the first approach that you could take here. The second approach is the approach that I taught previously. So this is the first approach. You just say this long length is x, and this length on the other one is 5. So you equate to say x will be equivalent to 5. Then here you say 12 is equivalent to 4. And make sure that units from the same triangle should be on the same line, and units from the other triangle should be on the same line. So the x is from the big triangle, even the 12 is from the big triangle, they should be in the same line like that. The 5 is from the small triangle, the 4 should also be from the small triangle. Okay, that is one way. The other way you could have done this is you can separate the triangle. So you see that you identify, first of all, you have a big triangle here, so which is this one. Let me just draw it real fast. So you have this big triangle here. Okay, and for the big triangle, there is this part which is 5 centimeters, and there is this part that you don't know the length of. Okay, so which you're going to call x. So this is x, and that is 5 centimeters. Okay, then this side it is 12 centimeters. Okay, so we can just drag that out, and we are going to have that big triangle like that. Okay, then we also have a small triangle here. So we have a small triangle there, which is that, and that. Okay, and this small side of the triangle, that is 5 centimeters, and this side is 4 centimeters. That side is 4 centimeters. 4 centimeters. And you can simply just drag that out. So for visualization, you can drag it out. Okay, just like that. Then what you do is you look for sides that are similar. Okay, so you see that this side is similar to this. So you just say 12 from the big triangle. 12 from the big triangle is similar to 4. Okay, then from the big triangle we have x plus 5. So this length here, since this is 5 and this is x, we'll say x plus 5 from the big triangle is similar to what? To 5. Okay, so you have that. Then here you just cross multiply, so it will be 4 times, we open the bracket, x plus 5 is equal to 5 times 12. 12 times 5. So this will give us, or we can start from here, 4 times x, that will be 4x. 4 times 5, that will be 20. Then this side, this will give us 60. And we can simply transpose, we'll remember x part here, so we're going to have 4x because we transpose this to be 60 minus 20. Then we say 4x is equal to, what is 60 minus 20? That is 40. And we say over 4 over 4. Okay, this cancels, your x would be equal to 10. So now for this one, the x that you found is here, which is this one, which is 10 here. Okay, the 10 that you found is there. So meaning that, remember, this is if you were to write, so this is your E, D, C. Okay, then here you have your A, C, E, he is here, E, then B. Okay, so here your BE is 10, then your BC, so BE here would be 10 degrees, which you've found here, which is your X. Okay, so that is another way you could have done this. So just a recap, what you do is, first of all, you try to visualize the bigger triangle, which is this other triangle. There is this known part, the unknown part. So the unknown part, you say x, then this part you say whatever length is there. Then you simply just you put it out there and you find the answer like that. Now the question that you're solving is this one right here. So the first question you're solving is this one. You can copy it out. You have 7 centimeters there, you have 2 centimeters there, and you just ignore this right here. So let me just see. So just ignore this right here. So all right, so with those measurements, so AB, so you copy the question, then you solve it. So AB is equals to 7, DE is 2, CE is 3, as you have been showed here, and you're asked to find BE. So that is the first question. You're asked to find BE. Okay, now the second question on this will be, The second question, this one, similar question. So in the diagram below, AB is 12, DE is 4 centimeters, BE is 5 centimeters. So this is BE, which is 5 centimeters. So not here. So BE is 5 centimeters, and you're asked to find the length of EC there. Okay, so this is the last question that you do. So you are required to copy all the questions in your book. Then you submit. Okay, it's a requirement to submit. See you next week.